Hi, smart learners. Welcome to today's video on indices. In our last video, we discussed the laws of indices, the multiplication law, the division law, the product power law, the zero index, the fractional index, the negative fractional index. And we looked at how to solve one or two questions, not too much, but we did some questions on that. Okay, so today we are going to take our knowledge on the laws a bit further into solving questions. So, and okay, so let's start example one. So, example one, I have simplify 1/4 negative 1/2. So, I have this. So, in our last video, I explained to you that we can have a negative sign as our index like this. So, and we have a fraction in the number. So having a fraction, we can just flip the fractions. So instead of having doing 1/1, instead of doing equals 1/4, 1/2, we can actually flip the fractions, the fraction in the number. So we are going to have something like this: 4/1. This now is going to become 4/1. So by doing that, that's going to eradicate the negative sign. So I'll be left with just 1/2. So this 1/2 now I can share for 4 and for 1 because I even know 4/1 is still 4. So I can say I have 4/1/2. So what's the index form of 4? That's 2 to the power of 2 times 1/2. It is the 1/2 you have here before. So 2 cancels out 2. I have what? I have 2. If you decide to do it this way and solve, you are still going to get what? You're still going to get 2. So example 2, I have 343 raised to the power of negative 2 raised to the power of 1/3. So I know this negative sign, I can remove the negative sign by doing, so I can first do product power, I can multiply the powers together. So I'm going to have 343 negative 2/3. So I can remove the negative sign by doing what? 1/343 2/3. Now 343 has an index form, and the index form for 343 is 7 to the power of 3. 7 to the power of 3. So I can have 1/7 to the power of 3 times 2/3. So this 3 can cancel out this 3. So I'm going to have 1/7 squared, or 1/49, or also it can be 7 raised to power negative 2. So your answer can be in this form, or this form. It depends. So let's look at another example, example 3. I'm asked to simplify the cube root of 27 a negative 6. Now, method 1, cube root of 27 a minus 6. So I can decide to do something like this. Twenty-seven can be 3 times 3 times 3. And you agree with me that a raised to power negative 6 can be times a raised to power negative 2 times a raised to the power negative 2 times a raised to the power negative 2. Because a raised to the power, we will just pick one of the a's and add their powers, because this is multiplication, this is multiplication. So negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2, which is still the same thing as a negative 6. So since we have the cube root here, what you want to do is just want to pick one of 3 and one of a raised to the power negative 6, negative 2 rather. Because cube root means there is a number you can express 3 times that will give you 27, and we know that number is 3. So 3 is just going to come out of the bracket. Sorry, come out of the root, the cube root. Also, there's a number you can multiply. There's a way you can multiply this to power 6 3 times. There's a way you can multiply a particular number 3 times to give you a raised to power minus 6, and that number is a raised to power minus 2. So I can leave my answer like this. But this particular method, I really don't like it. What I like doing is I like working with indices. So the first thing I would love to do is I would like to transfer these roots back into power. There's a way we can turn roots back to powers. If you remember from fractional index. So I'm going to have 27 a minus 6 all raised to power what? 1 over 3. It is still the same thing as this. These two things are the same. They are the same. So because this 1 over 3 still signifies root, then I can express 27 at its index form. So I'm going to have 3 raised to power 3, a raised to power minus 6, all to the bracket of what? 1 over 3. So I'm going to share 1 over 3 for 3, as well as a raised to power negative 6. So I'm going to have 3 raised to power 3 times 1 over 3, then a raised to power minus 6 times 1 over 3. So this 1 over 3, I'm going, because we have a bracket here, so this 1 over 3, it will answer to 3 raised to power 3. It will also answer to what? A raised to power negative 6. So 3 cancels out 3, then 3 here 1, 3 and 6 gives 2. So I'm going to have what? 3 raised to power 1, then a raised to power minus 2. And you agree with me that 3 raised to power 1 is still the same as 3. So I have 3a minus 2, which is the same as what we have here. But mind you, you can decide to leave the answer in this one, which is still correct. But also we can say that 3 times a raised to power minus 2. Because this here has a negative value, it's going to come down. It's going to take a parachute. It will come down because of this negative sign. So I'll be having what? 3 times 1 over a raised to power 2 to remove this negative sign. So 3 times 1 gives what? So I'll have what? 3 over a squared. So you can decide to skip this particular step. Why? Because you know already that what? This negative sign is going to give it a parachute. Because this 3 does not have a negative sign, it will just come down underneath the 3. 3 over what? A raised to power 2. So I believe you understood that. Okay, example 4. I have simplify cube root of 27 x raised to power 3 y raised to power 9. My method is, what I love doing is just take it back, this root, take it back to what? To power. So I'm going to have 27 x3 y9 all raised to power what? 1 over 3. So I'm going to share 1 over 3 for everything. So, but I have to take the index of 27, which is 3 to the power of 3, times what? 1 over 3, times x to the power of 3, times 1 over 3, times y to the power of 9, times 1 over 3. So I can cut now. 3 cancels out 3, 3 cancels out 3, and 3 here 1, 3 and 9 is 3. So my answer is what? 3x y raised to power 3. Simple as that. Example 5. I have evaluate 2 divided by 64 over 125 raised to the power of negative 2 over 3. So the first thing is to remove this negative sign. How do you remove the negative sign? Because this is a fraction, you just flip what? You flip it. So 125 becomes 64, 64 becomes, so you just change the position. So I'm going to have 2 divided by 125 over 64 raised to the power of 2 over 3. So which is equals to 2 divided by, the index one of 125 is 5 to the power of 3, and the index one of 64 is 4 to the power of 3 raised to the power of 2 over 3. So I can share 2 over 3 for both. So that I can have 2 divided by 5 to the power of 3 times 2 over 3 over 4 to the power of 3 times 2 over 3. 3 cancels out 3. 3 cancels out 3. So I have 2 divided by 5 squared over 4 squared. So I have 2 divided by 25 over 16. So I can change this division sign to multiplication by flipping the right hand side. So I'm going to have 2 times 16 over 25, which gives what? 32 over 25 as our final answer. Or better still, we can say I have one whole number, 7 over 25 as my final answer. Okay, example 6 now. Example 6, I have evaluate 81 over 16 to the power of negative 1 over 4 times 2 to the power of negative 1. So you can flip this sign. Because you have a negative sign, you can flip the what? The fraction. So I have 16 over 81, then 1 over 4 times 1 over 2. That's 2 raised to the power negative 1. So the index sum of 16 is, so I have 2 to the power of 4 times 1 over 4 over index sum of 81, 3 to the power of 4 times 1 over 4 times 1 over 2. 4 cancels out 4, 4 cancels out 4. So I have what? 2 over 3 times 1 over 2. 2 cancels 2. So I have my answer to be what? 1 over 3. That's my final answer. So you can see these questions are quite simple, nothing hard. You just need to understand the laws and how to apply them. So let's take another example, example 7. And this is a function of how many questions you have solved. So you have to solve enough questions. Simplify 16 over 81, 1 over 4, divided by 9 over 16, negative 1 over 2. So this it has no negative sign, so I can just proceed to expressing it in its index form. So 2 to the power of 4 times 1 over 4. Don't forget to share 1 over 4 for both. All over 81. 2 to the, sorry, not 2, 3. 3 to the power of 4 times 1 over 4 also. Divided by, you have to flip this because of this negative sign. So you have 16 over 9 raised to the power of 1 over 2. So this can cancel out this can cancel out this. So I have 2 over 3 divided by index of 16. That's 4 raised to the power 2 times 1 over 2 over 9, 3 raised to the power 2 times 1 over 2. In this case now, I have 16 here. How do I know that I have to do 2 raised to the power 4? It is because of this 4. Yeah, I have 16. How do I know I have to do 4 raised to the power 2? It is because of this 2. So this 4 and this 2 is going to tell you what to do. So here I express 16 as 2 raised to the power 4 because I have a 4 here. Here I'm expressing 16 as 2 raised to the power 4 raised to the power 2 because I have a 2 here. I hope you understand that. So 2 cancels out 2, 2 cancels out 2. So I have 2 over 3 divided by 4 over 3. So this is division sign. I can change this division sign to multiplication by flipping the right hand side. Reciprocal. So I have 2 over 3 times 3 over 4. 3 cancels 3. 2 here 1, 2 in 4, 2. So I have what? 1 over 2 as my answer for that question. Okay, let's take example 8 now. Example 8. So I have square root of 125 a raised to power 5, b raised to power negative 2, all upon 45 a raised to power 3, b raised to the power of 2. So here, what I can do here is I can take the square root of, now 125 is not a perfect square. So it has no two number that's going to equal 25, as well as 45. So that means there's a number I can remove from 45. So there's a way I can divide 45. I can take 5 away. I can take 5 away. So 125 over 45 a raised to the power of 5 minus 3. How do I know that? Because this is division. So a5 divided by a3. So let's do it that way. Divided by a3. So we can see it better in that form. Times, this sign is times. This, let me put this times here also. In indices, we use this often. Times. So b minus 2 divided by b2. So 5 here 9, 5 here 25. So you can see 25 is a perfect square. 9 is also a perfect square. Okay, so I can have 25 over 9 square roots. Now, now 5 minus 3, because this is division law, so I have to subtract the powers. 5 minus 3, then b also negative 2 minus 2. So that I can have the square root of 25 over 9, then a raised to power 5 minus, I want to differentiate between the a and the 5 and the 9. So 5 minus 3 is 2, then b negative 4. So now I can take the square root. So the square root of 25 is 5. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of a squared is just 1a, and the square root of a raised to power minus 4 is b raised to power minus 2. So we can do it this way. So because b has a negative sign, it's going to come down. That's the parachute is going to take. So I'm going to be left with what? 5a over 3b squared. So once it comes down, the negative sign will not be there anymore. So the negative sign is indicating that it should be at the denominator, not at the numerator. So our final answer is what? 5a 3b squared. We can't do anything further, so we just leave our answer as what? As this. So let's take another example, example 9. Asked to evaluate b raised to power negative 3 over 9b cubed. I have 1 over 2. So what I want to do here is, I already know that I have, I can do b raised to power negative 3 divided by b raised to power 3 over 9 all raised to power 1 over 2. But I'm going to have b raised to power negative 3 divided minus 3 all over 3 raised to power 2, 1 over 2. So I can have b raised to power negative 6 over 3 raised to power 2, 1 over 2. So I can share 1 over 2 for both. So I have b negative 6 times 1 over 2 over 3 squared times 1 over 2. So 2 cancels 2, 6 here, you have 3. 2 cancels 2, you have 1. So b negative 3 over 3. So this negative sign is indicating that this b should be at the denominator. So I'll just be left with 1 over 3b cubed. So that's my answer for that question. So let's take the final example for today. And let's see what we have with that. So this question we have simplify p negative 6 times p3 times p squared divided by p4 times p0. So I can pick one p, just one single p, and perform whatever I have there. Negative 6, this is times, so plus 3. This is times again, plus 2. This is division, so I'm going to do minus 4 plus 0. So I have p negative 6 plus 3, that's negative 3, negative 3 plus 2, that's negative 1, negative 1, negative 5, that negative 4, that's negative 5, negative 5 plus 0, that's negative 5. So I have my answer as p negative 5 or 1 over p5. So thank you for watching the video. So immediately after watching the video, send a thumbs up to the instructor so that you can get your task for the video. So in the task, I'm going to send 10 more questions whereby you have to practice questions that looks exactly like what we've solved here. So you might actually need to do some things that I have explained in the video. And also, if you do not understand any part of the video, do not hesitate to ask questions. Send your questions to the instructor so that we can provide solutions to your questions. So thank you for watching the video. See you in the next class.